Hello, good evening and welcome to Sports Buzz with me, Deepika, your daily window that brings you news and updates from the world of sports. In the next half an hour, we'll bring you updates from the ongoing Durand Cup, news around tonight's Champions League draw, what's happening in Asia Cup ahead of the summit clash and a lot more. But first up, let's quickly begin with the top headlines of the hour. 2022-23 Champions League group stage draw to take place in Istanbul, Turkey today. 32 teams will be split into 8 groups of 4. Pot 1 contains the title holders of Champions League and Europa League plus the champions of Europe's top 6 leagues. Hong Kong qualifies for the Asia Cup. Hong Kong to face India in their first game of Group A on the 31st of August and Pakistan on the 2nd of September. BCCI appoints VVS Laxman as interim head coach of Indian cricket team for the upcoming ACC Asia Cup 2022. India to begin their Asia Cup campaign on the 28th of August with a game against arch rivals Pakistan. In the ongoing BWF World Championship, pair of Dhruv and Arjun moves into quarterfinals. In men's singles, Lakshya Sen crashes out of ongoing World Championship, losing to Indian opponent Pranoy HS. So those were the top headlines of the hour that we are tracking for all our viewers and especially sports fans on DD India. And now to begin with the top news of the day. The 2022-23 Champions League group stage draw is all set to take place in Turkey's Istanbul today. The group stage will be played over 9 midweeks this season, so the World Cup can be accommodated. 2 teams will be split into 8 groups of 4. Pot 1 contains the title holders of Champions League and Europa League plus the champions of Europe's top 6 leagues. And now let's bring you updates from the ongoing Durand Cup, in which home side Neruka FC was held to a goalless draw by the Army Red football team in Group C encounter at Kuman Lampak Stadium in Imphal in the first game of Wednesday. Neruka, who'd won their first game against local rival Strau FC, were the more wasteful of the two, while ARFT, who picked up a second consecutive draw, continued their good defensive work from their game against Chennaiyin FC. Neruka, as a result, now have 4 points from 2 games, while the ARFT has 2 from the same number of games. In another match, former Indian Super League champion Mumbai City FC held the 2021 runners-up ATK Mohun Bagan to 1-1 draw in Group B League match at Kolkata Salt Lake Stadium. Mohun Bagan went into the lead late in the first half off a nice start from Lisbon Kulako before Mumbai City substitute Pereira Diaz nodded home the equalizer late in the second half to see the action ending in a deadlock. The result dealt to a blow to ATK Mohun Bagan's chances of making it to the quarterfinals, as it tallied just 1 point after 2 outings in the Group League so far. The ATK-MB had lost its opening match against I-League side Rajasthan United FC. Mumbai City remained on top of the current Group League standings with 4 points from 2 matches. Whereas in today's lineup, Army Green versus Sudeva Delhi FC ended in a draw at Guwahati. The game ended up in a stalemate as Army Green shared points with Sudeva FC. Second match will be played between East Bengal and Rajasthan United of Group B around 6 p.m. at Kishore Bharati Stadium. The situation in Group B looks intense. However, with ATK Mohun Bagan defeating Mumbai City, the group is now an open one. Thus, both East Bengal and Rajasthan United will need all 3 points from this game to move a step closer towards the knockout stage. And for more on soccer update, let's quickly take a look at this next report.
The European season began a few weeks ago, but FC Barcelona and Manchester United broke from their competitive endeavours as they faced off in a charity match at the Camp Nou that benefits a cause close to home for both organisations. The clubs played to a 3-3 draw in front of 91,000 fans, with Barcelona want-aways Frankie de Jong, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Memphis Depay all on the score sheet for the hosts. Julian Alvarez and Cole Palmer scored for Man City and Riyad Mahrez finished off a penalty in stoppage time to level the score. Newcastle United have qualified for the third round of the EFL Cup. Newcastle made an impressive comeback from a second round draw to beat League 2 club Tranmere Rovers 2-1. William Levitt scored in the 21st minute to give Tranmere Rovers a 1-0 lead in the match. Newcastle, who were trailing by a goal, soon mounted a pressure attack and Lascelles scored in the 40th minute to level the match. Chris Wood scored the second goal for Newcastle at the start of the second half. Newcastle will face Crystal Palace in the third round. Leeds United, who have been performing well in the Premier League, have continued their winning streak in the EFL Cup as well. In the second round of the competition, Leeds defeated Barnsley 3-1 to reach the third round. Leeds took an aggressive approach from the start and took a 1-0 lead in the 21st minute with a goal from Lewis. Leeds got another chance in the 32nd minute to score as a penalty and they succeeded. However, just 3 minutes later, Barnsley's Anderson scored a goal to reduce the scoreline to 1-2. In the second half, Klitsch scored his second and the team's third to set up a 3-1 victory for Leeds. The draw for the third round of the EFL Cup has also been announced. Premier League champions Manchester City will face last year's EFL Cup runners-up Chelsea in the biggest match of the third round. Tottenham Hotspurs will face Nottingham Forest in another match, while the third round match will be played between Manchester United and Aston Villa. Arsenal will have to overcome Brighton's challenge for a place in the fourth round. Marseille have completed the signing of Manchester United defender Eric Bailly on loan with an option to buy. The 28-year-old has struggled since his move to Old Trafford from Villarreal in 2016, with injuries and poor form restricting him to just 113 appearances across the 6 years on the books at United. His debut season was the only year in which he managed more than 13 Premier League outings. Sports Desk, DD India.
And Hong Kong qualified for the Asia Cup and will take on India and Pakistan in Group A as they defeated the United Arab Emirates in the final qualifying round. Chasing 148 to win, Hong Kong reached their target with an over to spare with Yassim Murtaza top scoring on 58. Ehsan Khan shown for Hong Kong with the ball registering figures of 4 wickets for 24 runs, while Ayush Shukla also picked up 3 wickets to help pull the UAE out on 147. In the run chase, Murtaza slammed a half-century, while Babar Hayat also scored a quick-fire unbeaten 38 of 26 deliveries to take the side past the target with an over to spare. Hong Kong will take on India in their first game on Group A on the 31st of August and will meet Pakistan on the 2nd of September. The proceedings in the group begin with a blockbuster clash between India and Pakistan on the 28th of August. The top 2 teams from the group will qualify for the Super 4. Meanwhile, Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are placed in Group B of the Asia Cup. And BCCI on Wednesday appointed VVS Laxman as the interim head coach of the Indian cricket team for the upcoming ACC Asia Cup 2022. Laxman was there with the Indian team on their tour to Zimbabwe also. He will now replace Rahul Dravid, who is currently down with COVID. Dravid has been under isolation so far. He tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday before the team's departure to the UAE and will next join the team once he tests negative and is also then cleared by the BCCI medical team. India will begin their Asia Cup campaign on the 28th of August with game against arch rivals Pakistan. And further to this, standing room tickets released today for the highly anticipated ICC Men's T20 World Cup fixture between India and Pakistan on the MCG schedule for the 23rd of October. The general tickets for the marquee game were sold out within 5 minutes of going on sale in February. Well over 4,000 standing room tickets will be available for $30 Australian and sold on a first-come, first-served basis. In a statement, ICC said the ticket release ensures that as many fans as possible can attend the fixture scheduled to be played on the 23rd of October. A limited number of packages also remain now available for purchase via ICC Hospitality and ICC Travel and Tour program. The organizers will also launch a resale platform closer to the tournament's opening match somewhere around 16th of October. And for more on cricket, let's quickly take a look at this cricket wrap.
Former Indian skipper Virat Kohli has been going through poor form for some time now and also being criticised for. Kohli has not scored single century in international cricket since November 2019. Now Virat has returned to Team India. He is ready to score a lot of runs in the Asia Cup. Ahead of the tournament, Kohli said that there is no problem with his batting. He is confident that he will soon come out of the bad phase. Expressing confidence in Virat Kohli, former Indian coach Ravi Shastri has called him a machine. Shastri believes that Kohli will hit a half century and his critics will be shut. He has said that hunger for runs never ends in him. Ravi Shastri said, "No Indian cricketer is more fit than him and I am saying this with experience." Indian opener Shubman Gill has jumped 45 places to 38th in the ICC ODI rankings released on Wednesday. The 22-year-old has performed brilliantly in the recently concluded 3-match ODI series against Zimbabwe. He scored his maiden century in the last match at Harare. Gill scored 130 runs in an innings of 97 balls. Ajinkya Rahane, who has recovered from injury, has been named as the West Zone captain for the Duleep Trophy. The tournament will take place in Tamil Nadu from September 8th to September 25th. Prithvi Shaw, Shardul Thakur, Yashasvi Jaiswal have also got a place in the team. At the same time, most of the players of Ranji champion MP have been given place in the Central Zone team. Captain Karan Sharma has been made. Gujarat opener Priyank Panchal was named the captain of the 16-member India A team that was announced on Wednesday. The India A team will play a 4-day 3-match series against New Zealand A next month. Ruturaj Gaikwad, Kuldeep Yadav, Famous Krishna and Umran Malik have also been included in the team. Rajat Patidar, who made MP the Ranji champion, and runner-up Sarfaraz Khan of Mumbai have also been included in the team. New Zealand have announced their squad for the upcoming Chappell Hadley Trophy against Australia, commencing on the 6th of September in Queensland. The Kiwis have bolstered their pace attack for the series in hopes of reclaiming the coveted trophy this year. Trent Boult retains his place in the squad following a captivating series against the Windies. The Black Caps have included 23-year-old Ben Sears in the squad, who is in line to make his ODI debut in the series. In addition to the rapid Lockie Ferguson, Kane Williamson has returned from injury and will captain New Zealand. Williamson had missed the final 2 games against the West Indies last week due to a quad injury. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, the 4th and final Grand Slam of the year, running from the 29th of August till the 11th of September, will feature defending champions Daniel Medvedev and Emma Raducanu, along with Serena Williams playing her last major, and Rafael Nadal seeking to extend his men's total title record.
This coming week, all eyes will turn to Flushing Meadows for the 4th and final Grand Slam of the year, the US Open. Across 2 weeks, players will compete on the hard courts of the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center for the chance to be immortalized in tennis history. And with so many intriguing storylines are set to unfold at this edition, the action in New York is sure to court the attention of fans everywhere. The qualifiers for the tournament are taking place ahead of the main event. Wildcards were announced on 17th of August and include 4-time Olympic gold medalist Venus Williams, fellow American Sophia Kenin and 2020 champion Dominic Thiem. Headlining the event is the news that this Grand Slam will likely be the last competitive tennis tournament 23-time major winner Serena Williams will ever play. Regarded by many as the greatest to ever play the sport, the 4-time Olympic gold medalist will enjoy her swan song in front of a home crowd where she is 6 times a winner. Will it be a fairy tale ending for Williams, who is just one singles Grand Slam title away from equaling the record of Margaret Court? Defending champion 19-year-old Emma Raducanu will be among those trying to thwart Williams. So will Polish world number 1 Iga Swiatek. Swiatek started the year in a scintillating form, sweeping the French Open as she went 37 matches undefeated. The 21-year-old's fall came at the third round of Wimbledon, and since then she's been struggling to regain traction. The men's singles field will be no less competitive. 2021 champion Daniil Medvedev will face a host of challengers led by this year's Australian and French Open winner Rafael Nadal. For the first time in 3 years, the 36-year-old Spaniard will be touching down in New York, and on the agenda will be extending his advantage over rival Novak Djokovic in the total number of major singles titles won. Nadal is currently sitting on 22 with the Serb on 21. Djokovic, the former world number 1 and 3-time US Open winner, is not expected to compete at this year's tournament owing to the current United States vaccination status entry requirements. Also set to miss out on the action are Roger Federer, who is due to return from injury at next month's La Ver Cup, and Tokyo 2020 Olympic champion Alexander Zverev. The world number 2 is out of contention owing to an injury from the French Open earlier this year. The omission of Djokovic and Zverev opened out the field to charges from the likes of Stefanos Tsitsipas, Carlos Alcaraz of Spain and Denmark's Casper Ruud, who are all chasing their first Grand Slam win. Recent Cincinnati Open finalist Stefanos Tsitsipas presents a threat to Medvedev. Sports Desk, DD India.
And now in Sports Buzz, it's time to take an update from the ongoing Badminton World Championship. Well, HS Prannoy staged a spirited comeback to beat compatriot and CWG champion Lakshya Sen to enter the singles quarterfinals at the ongoing BWF World Championships in Tokyo. It was a grueling 1 hour and 15-minute battle between Lakshya and Prannoy, who eventually eked out a 17-21, 21-16 and 21-17 over his teammate. It was also the 4th meeting of the year for the two Indians after Prannoy's victory, their head-to-head record standing at 2-2. Prannoy will now face China's Zhao Jinpeng in the quarterfinals. And the Indian men's doubles pair of Dhruv Kapila and MR Arjun moved to the quarterfinals with a come-from-behind victory over Terry He and Loh Keen Hee. The unseeded Indian duo had to toil hard for 58 minutes to win its round of 16 clash against the Singaporeans by 18-21, 21-15 and 21-16. Arjun and Kapila will cross swords with the third-seed Indonesian pair of Muhammad Hassan and Handra Sitwon in the last 8th stage. And India's ace shuttler Saina Nehwal suffered a defeat to crash out in the women's singles event. She lost to Busanan in a hard-fought women's singles pre-quarterfinal stage. The 32-year-old went down by 17-21, 21-16 and 13-21 to her Thai opponent. Busanan has extended her head-to-head record against Saina to 5-3 now. And Indian shuttlers Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty have bagged a quarterfinal berth in the men's doubles category. The 2022 CWG Gold winning pair made short work of the world number 32 Danish pair of Jep Bay and Lasse by the margin of 21-12 and 21-10. And they will next face defending champions and second seeded Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi of Japan. And England Test captain Ben Stokes said he'd feared he might not play again after taking an extended break from cricket last year to focus on his well-being. Stokes also decided to prioritise his mental health after suffering from a series of panic attacks following the death of his father due to brain cancer almost 2 years ago. Our next report brings you more details on the current situation, the challenges that he's facing through and also what he is further planning upon. Take a look.
Cricketers across the globe have been prioritising their mental health of late. England's Test captain Ben Stokes, who recently retired from ODI cricket, is one of them. In July 2021, Stokes withdrew from England's Test squad ahead of his nation's 5-match series against India to prioritise his mental health as he was suffering from a series of panic attacks following the loss of his father to brain cancer almost 2 years ago. The star cricketer then took an indefinite break from cricket with immediate effect to prioritise his mental well-being. Although he returned to cricket later that year, his hiatus started a wave of safeguarding mental health across the cricket fraternity.
27-year-old man. I think what's probably important to say is that it wasn't a case of it was like a 2-week thing or a couple of months thing. The whole thing was just a build-up of over a long period of time, maybe even like 2, 3, 4 years. Like, I don't really know, but what I find I was doing is that, like, I had a glass bottle and I was just kept on throwing emotions and my feelings into this bottle. The more I was doing of that, the more the bottle was filling up, to eventually where it got too full and then just exploded, and that was me when I decided that, well.
The England Test captain further said he had feared he might not play again after taking an extended break from cricket last year to focus on his well-being.
I mean, at the time, yeah, like, that's where I was at. Like, it was very tough time, as I allude to, and one of the probably the most like powerful things about that I watched, that I noticed from the film, is when Stuart Broad was on camera, and he said the same thing. He actually said that he could see me not playing again, and I'd never spoke to Stuart about that through my time away. I spoke to Stuart a lot through that period, but I'd never said the words to him like, I'm not sure if I'll ever play again. But the fact that he got that feeling through that time was like almost an eye-opener to me at that time, of like, things were quite bad.
Meanwhile, former England Test captain Joe Root praised Ben Stokes for showing great courage and bravery over mental health struggles. Sports Desk, DD India.
And with this, it's a wrap in Sports Buzz with me, Deepika, but leaving you with this picturesque lake from Civelpina in Switzerland. Well, more than 250 windsurfers graced the lake in Switzerland for the 1-hour race, while the lake was set to play host to the 45th edition of the Surf Marathon. Well, that's all that we have for now, leaving you with those amazing visuals from the Surf League. Take a look and enjoy. Namaskar.